There is a power within you greater than any circumstance. It is not physical strength. It is not willpower. It is faith. Faith is the inner knowing that what you have imagined, what you have desired is already yours. It is not the hope that something might come to pass. It is the confidence that it already has. The world will tell you to work harder, chase more, strive endlessly. But the truth is, you are not here to chase. You are here to receive. And the key that unlocks that reception is faith. Imagine the life you wish to live. Feel it, not as something far away, but as something already done. That feeling, that inner conviction is your act of faith. That is your miracle seed. Do not concern yourself with the how. Miracles do not operate under logic. They bend to belief. When you persist in the assumption that what you desire is already yours, the world must conform. The seen rearranges to match the unseen. You don't wait for a sign. You are the sign. Walk as though it's already done. Speak as though it's already done. Think, feel, breathe as though you are already living in the answered prayer. Because you are. There is no power in begging the world to give you what you have not first accepted inwardly. But when you say yes with your soul, yes with your spirit, the universe bows in agreement. Creation responds to conviction. Miracles are not rare, they are natural. They are the laws of the higher realm operating through faith. The only question is, are you willing to believe before you see? If your answer is yes, then I tell you now, it is done. Believe and you shall receive. What you do not yet see in your world already exists within you. The longing you feel, the image you quietly hold in your imagination, the quiet hope that sometimes whispers louder than reason, all of it is not fantasy, but the echo of what is already prepared for you. Faith is not the creation of something new. It is the recognition of what already is. There is a world unseen, a world within, more real than what you touch with your hands or measure with your eyes. All things spring first from this invisible realm. Before the house, the idea of the house. Before the healed body, the vision of health. Before the relationship, the feeling of love. Before anything can take form outside, it must be accepted as real inside. Faith is the bridge between that inner acceptance and the outer manifestation. You are never meant to live only by what you see. To do so is to become bound by limitation. The visible world is merely the harvest of past beliefs, past assumptions, past states of being. Faith calls you to something deeper. It invites you to move beyond the senses and step boldly into the unseen. Not to wish, not to beg, not to plead, but to know. And in that knowing, to receive. You do not need permission from the world to believe in what has not yet appeared. The world will often tell you it is foolish. It will point to circumstances, limitations, facts, and evidence. But what the world cannot see is what you carry within. And that inner reality is more powerful than any condition, any obstacle, any delay. What you hold with faith will override what you see with fear. Faith is not blind. It is not naive. It is deeply aware, so aware of the truth within that it no longer bows to the illusion outside. When you walk by faith, you walk in alignment with a law higher than logic, a law that says all things are possible to the one who believes. You don't chase after your desires. You become the one who already has them. You shift inwardly, you take on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you persist. What is real to you inwardly must eventually become real to you outwardly. This is the law. The outer mirrors the inner. The world is your reflection. And faith is how you speak to the mirror, not with words, but with conviction. You are not separate from what you seek. You are one with it. And faith is the bridge that reminds you. It carries you over the waters of doubt, the winds of delay, and the fog of confusion. It keeps you steady when nothing else seems to move. Faith sees the end from the beginning. And because it sees the end, it knows how to rest, not because it is passive, but because it is sure. So, hold fast. The invisible is not empty. It is pregnant with all that your heart desires. Believe in it, dwell in it, walk toward it, because what you do not yet see in your world is already alive in you, and faith will bring it forth. Imagination is the beginning of all things. Before anything is made visible in this world, it is first seen in the mind, felt in the heart, and accepted in the spirit. To imagine is to touch the invisible and bring it into focus. It is the first movement of faith, the sacred act of creation that takes place within. When you dare to imagine something different from your current reality and accept it as real, you have already begun the process of transformation. Imagination is not idle fantasy. It is not daydreaming without power. True imagination, fueled by belief and feeling, is the most creative force in existence. It is through imagination that you choose the state you wish to dwell in. It is how you rise above what the senses report and step into a world that has not yet formed, but surely will. To see with the inner eyes, to live beyond appearances. It is to close your physical eyes and open the eye of the spirit, the eye that sees not what is, but what can be. Every great change in a person's life begins here, not in effort, not in struggle, but in vision. The clearer the vision, the stronger the faith, and the stronger the faith, the faster the world conforms. You are always imagining, whether you are aware of it or not. The question is, are you imagining what you desire or what you fear? Most people unconsciously imagine worst-case scenarios. They rehearse defeat in their minds, worry about outcomes, and then wonder why life reflects that back to them. But the moment you take control of this inner faculty and use it deliberately, you become the author of your life. You begin to create consciously. Feeling is what gives imagination its power. To simply see something in the mind is not enough. You must feel it as though it were happening now. When the imagined scene stirs emotion within you, when it causes you to smile, to relax, to feel gratitude or joy, that is when faith is activated. That is when the seed is planted. And once a seed is planted in the rich soil of belief, it must grow. Imagination is your divine tool. Through it, you design the life you desire. You are not limited by your past, your surroundings, or your present circumstances. What appears to be fixed is only temporary. It will yield to your inner reality. When you return again and again to the vision of your fulfilled desire and feel it to be real, you are exercising faith in its purest form. You must make your imagination more real to you than your current conditions. You must walk in the feeling of the answered prayer, live in the end result, and persist there, regardless of appearances. It is not pretending, it is believing. It is not escape, it is creation. Everything you desire is already finished in the unseen. Imagination is the doorway through which you claim it. When you see clearly within and feel it deeply, the world cannot help but reflect it. This is the law. This is the truth. Imagination is the first act of faith, and with it you move mountains without lifting a finger. Miracles do not respond to effort. They do not come because of strain, struggle, or desperation. They arrive quietly, powerfully, through a deeper channel, through feeling. Feeling is the secret doorway through which the invisible becomes visible. It is the key to unlocking the life you long for, not by chasing it, but by receiving it inwardly first. Everything in your world reflects the state you dwell in. And the state is not just a thought. It is a feeling. It is the emotional atmosphere that surrounds your inner being. When you feel lack, life responds with more reasons to feel empty. But when you feel fulfilled, when you feel loved, healed, whole, then the world mirrors that back to you. Not instantly perhaps, but inevitably. This is why the act of creation begins with inner acceptance. You must first accept the thing you want as already yours. Not in a future that's always just beyond reach, but now. You must rise above the facts of the senses and step into the truth of your inner conviction. Can you feel yourself already living the life you desire? Can you taste the joy, the peace, the success of it? If you can, then you are closer to the miracle than you know. Most people make the mistake of thinking they must do something to make their desire happen, but miracles are not forced. They are not willed into existence through panic or performance. They are received. They flow naturally when you align your inner world with the reality you seek. Feeling is how you do that. To feel the reality of your desire is not to pretend, it is not to fake it. It is to consciously shift into the state of already having, already being. The moment you stop asking, when will it come, and start living as if it already has, you walk through the doorway. This is the mystery the world has missed. You don't beg for blessings. You become the version of you that already has them. Everything in your life flows from the state you dwell in. If you want to see a new reality, you must first feel differently. You must enter into the scene of your wish fulfilled and dwell there in thought and in emotion. Don't just visualize it, feel it. Let the scene become so vivid, so real within you that your heart responds. When you feel the joy of already having, when you feel the love of already receiving, that is when the miracle begins to move. This is not something you do once and forget. It is a way of living. You return to the feeling again and again until it becomes your dwelling place, until it becomes more natural to feel abundance than lack, more natural to feel peace than anxiety. Then your outer world, which is only a reflection, must catch up. Feeling is the secret doorway because it bypasses resistance. It bypasses logic. It goes straight to the heart of creation. The universe speaks in feeling. So if you truly want to change your life, don't force it. Feel it. Receive the miracle by becoming the one who already holds it. Let it be real within, and it must be revealed without. Doubt is the silent thief of every dream. It creeps in softly, questioning, second-guessing, interrupting the flow of faith with whispers of fear and hesitation. And the moment you give it your attention, you pull yourself back into limitation. You return to the world of what is and abandon the power of what will be. This is the reason so many prayers go unanswered, not because the desire was too great, but because the faith was too small. Doubt delays, but faith always delivers. To have faith is not to pretend everything is perfect. It is to know deep within that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Faith is not blind. It is the clearest sight you will ever have. It sees what the eyes cannot see. It holds fast when the senses scream the opposite. It is the calm within the storm, the stillness in the waiting. Faith is not hoping, it is knowing. It is surrender, but with certainty. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up each morning to check if it's growing. You trust the process. You water it, nurture it, and wait with expectation. This is how faith works. You plant the seed of desire in your imagination, feel it as already done, and then rest in the assurance that it is being fulfilled. Doubt comes when you stop trusting and start questioning the unseen process. It is like tugging on the seedling, wondering why it has not yet broken the surface. Your job is not to figure out how the desire will come. Your job is to remain in the state of fulfillment, knowing that what is yours cannot miss you. You are not required to chase or force. You are only required to remain. Remain in the feeling of it already being done. Remain in the joy, the peace, the gratitude that it brings. Remain in the end. That is faith. Every time you doubt, you step out of the state of fulfillment and back into the state of longing. You become the person who does not have and therefore cannot receive. But when you hold firm to your inner conviction, despite appearances, despite delay, you become the one who already has, and the world must conform to that. Faith is alignment. It is harmony with the highest version of yourself. It does not push, it attracts. It does not beg, it commands. Quietly, peacefully, unshakably. And in that still confidence, miracles are made manifest. The moment you feel the urge to worry, to rush, to question, pause. Return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. See it in your mind's eye. Feel it in your heart. Say to yourself, it is done. Because in the unseen, it already is. And what is real within must become real without. Faith delivers because it creates the atmosphere for the unseen to become seen. It lifts you above the noise of fear and places you in the flow of divine timing. Doubt delays because it denies the power within. Faith, on the other hand, is your agreement with the highest truth, that all things are possible to the one who believes. So believe, remain, and receive. To assume the wish fulfilled is to enter into a sacred agreement with the unseen. It is to step into the end before any sign of it appears. This is not imagination as fantasy, it is imagination as reality. When you assume the feeling of your desire already fulfilled, you become one with it. You no longer ask if it will come or when it will arrive. You dwell in the knowing that it is now within you, as sure and certain as the ground beneath your feet. This is the law of creation. Whatever state you occupy within must be expressed without. The outer world is simply a reflection of the inner world. It is not separate from you, it is responding to you. When you change your state, your world begins to rearrange itself to match that new vibration. But most people wait for the world to change before they change within. They wait for evidence to believe, yet the evidence only comes after belief. You must live in the state of the answered prayer, not visit it occasionally, not speak of it with doubt, but dwell there emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. To dwell means to remain, to reside, to make it your home. It becomes your dominant state, your natural assumption. You do not check for signs every hour, you do not measure its progress. You live as though it were already true. You think from it, feel from it, speak from it, and act from it. And because of this, it must come to pass. This is not pretending, it is aligning. You are not faking a future, you are claiming a truth that already exists in the unseen. You are saying yes to it, allowing it, embracing it as your own. In doing so, you bypass the resistance of how and when, and enter the effortless flow of now. Emotion is the secret ingredient. When you feel the joy of already having what you once desired, you send a powerful signal into the field of creation. You become a magnet for the experience. And the more real that feeling becomes to you, the faster the world begins to respond. Thoughts alone do not change reality. It is the feeling behind the thoughts that impresses the subconscious and shapes your life. That is why it is not enough to merely affirm your desire. You must feel it as done. You must rise into the atmosphere of fulfillment and stay there. And when your mind wanders back to doubt or lack, you gently return again and again until the feeling of the wish fulfilled becomes more familiar than the memory of not having it. You are not bound by circumstances. You are not defined by what has been. You are the creator of your state and therefore the creator of your experience. All things are possible to the one who dares to assume, who refuses to waver, and who remains loyal to the unseen reality within. Assume the wish fulfilled, and it must be so. Not because the world grants it to you, but because you are it. You are the fulfillment walking in form, and as you live from that truth, the world will echo it back to you in ways that appear miraculous, but are in fact inevitable. Faith is not a weak hope, nor a desperate plea whispered into the night. Faith is power. It is law. It is the invisible force that shapes visible form. When you believe, not just with your words, but with your being, with your entire consciousness, the universe has no choice but to respond. It does not resist. It does not delay. It rearranges itself to honor that belief, for faith is the signal that creation listens to. You do not receive what you want, you receive what you are. And faith is the state of being that declares, I already have it, it is mine. Not as a performance, not as a wish, but as an inner truth so alive and so complete that it cannot be denied. This is why faith is the law that answers all requests. It is not something external you must chase or summon. It is the alignment of your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. The moment you believe something fully, you collapse time. The waiting ends inwardly, and because you no longer wait, you create. The future becomes the present in consciousness. You no longer beg for change, you embody it. And this embodiment, this deep felt knowing, is what causes mountains to move, conditions to bend, and paths to open. The universe does not respond to scattered thoughts or half-hearted declarations. It responds to the certainty of being. To believe means to inhabit the truth of your desire even when nothing in the physical world confirms it, especially then, for that is when your faith speaks the loudest. To continue to believe in the face of contradiction is to rise above the laws of matter and step into the higher law of spirit, where all things are possible. Faith is not the absence of action, but inspired alignment. It guides you into doing not from fear or urgency, but from inner knowing. You no longer act to make things happen, you act because they already have. The steps you take are no longer forced, they are natural movements, flowing from your assumed reality. You see, the world is a mirror. It does not create, it reflects. So when you believe deeply, wholly, and consistently, the mirror must show you what you carry within. This is why so many remain stuck. Not because their desires are wrong, but because their faith is unstable. One moment they believe, the next they doubt. They plant a seed and dig it up. They shift from having to lacking, from confidence to fear, and so the reflection stays blurred, uncertain, incomplete. But when you stabilize in faith, when you no longer waver, when you remain loyal to the unseen reality, something profound begins to occur. People, events, and circumstances move. Doors open, opportunities arise. What once seemed impossible becomes ordinary, not through effort, but through alignment. Faith is the law that answers all requests because it places you in the frequency of fulfillment. It says, I am one with my desire, and the world, being obedient, mirrors back that union. You need not scream your wishes to the sky. You only need to believe with your being, feel with your soul, and live as if it were already so. When you do, nothing is withheld. All things bend to the one who walks in faith. In the end, remember this profound truth. Your faith is the creative power within you. It is the force that bridges the invisible with the seen, the imagined with the real. When you believe fully, body, mind, and spirit, you unlock the flow of miracles into your life. Doubt may delay, but faith delivers. Assume the wish fulfilled, dwell in that state, and watch as the universe rearranges itself in your favor. This is not magic. It is the natural law of creation working through you. So stand firm, trust deeply, and receive without hesitation, for all that you desire is already yours. Thank you for opening your heart and mind to this truth. May your faith be unwavering, and may your life be filled with miracles beyond measure.
Let me ask you something. How much is your peace worth? Your self-respect? Your soul's well-being? You see, love isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding a partnership that honors and elevates who you are. But sometimes we stay in situations that tear us apart piece by piece, thinking, maybe they'll change. Maybe I should give them another chance. There are lines that, once crossed, should never be forgiven. Not because you're weak, not because you're bitter, but because you're protecting the most sacred parts of who you are. So if your partner has done these 5 things, it's time to stop hoping for change and start walking away. Trust is the invisible thread that holds relationships together, weaving security, respect, and emotional intimacy into a seamless bond. Without trust, even the strongest love can falter, because trust is the foundation upon which everything else stands. When that foundation is broken, the cracks ripple through every aspect of the relationship, making it fragile and unstable. No matter how much love exists between 2 people, the absence of trust reduces the relationship to a shadow of its former self, a mere shell that cannot withstand the weight of life's challenges. When trust is intact, it creates a sense of safety and openness. You feel comfortable being vulnerable, sharing your fears, your dreams, and your flaws, knowing that the other person will protect your heart rather than exploit it. Trust is what allows love to grow freely without fear or hesitation. It's the assurance that the person you've chosen will stand by you, honor their promises, and consider your feelings even when times get tough. Without that assurance, love becomes tainted by doubt, anxiety, and suspicion. The loss of trust doesn't happen all at once. It's often eroded bit by bit through lies, broken promises, or betrayals. Each small breach chips away at the foundation, making it harder to rebuild. When someone lies to you, they're not just deceiving you in the moment, they're planting a seed of doubt that grows into a tangled vine, choking the trust you once had. Even if the lie seems minor, it opens the door for questions. What else are they hiding? Can I believe what they say? Do I know this person as well as I thought I did? These questions don't just affect how you see them, they also affect how you see yourself in the relationship. Betrayal, whether it comes in the form of infidelity, dishonesty, or neglect, is the ultimate breach of trust. It shatters the illusion of safety and forces you to confront a painful truth. The person you trusted most has disregarded your feelings, your worth, and your shared bond. Betrayal isn't just about the act itself, it's about the ripple effect it creates. Suddenly you find yourself questioning everything. Were the good times real? Was their love genuine? Can they ever truly change? These doubts can be paralyzing, making it nearly impossible to move forward. Rebuilding trust after it has been shattered is an uphill battle, and not everyone has the strength or the will to make it to the top. It requires honesty, consistency, and an unwavering commitment from both partners. The one who broke the trust must take full responsibility for their actions and work tirelessly to prove their sincerity, while the one who was hurt must find a way to forgive and let go of the resentment. But even with the best intentions, the process is fraught with challenges. Every misstep, every unintentional trigger can reignite the pain and undo months of progress. For some, the effort to rebuild trust is worth it, especially if the love is strong and the betrayal was an isolated incident. But for others, the damage is simply too great. Once trust is broken, it changes the dynamics of the relationship forever. The carefree intimacy that once existed is replaced by caution, and the joy of being together is overshadowed by the fear of being hurt again. Even if you manage to stay together, the relationship may never feel the same. Trust is the essence of a healthy, thriving relationship. It allows love to flourish, creating a bond that can weather life's storms. When that trust is shattered, the relationship loses its foundation, leaving it vulnerable to collapse. While forgiveness is possible, and some bonds can be mended, the reality is that a relationship without trust is like a house built on sand. No matter how beautiful it appears on the surface, it cannot stand the test of time. Respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, the invisible force that nurtures love, trust, and mutual understanding. It goes beyond polite gestures or kind words. It's about honoring each other's individuality, boundaries, and worth. Respect creates a safe space where both partners feel valued, heard, and supported. Without it, the very fabric of the relationship begins to unravel, leaving behind feelings of resentment, frustration, and unworthiness. Disrespect, in any form, should never be tolerated or excused, because it undermines the core principles of love and partnership. When respect is present, it fosters an environment of equality and harmony. It ensures that both partners recognize and celebrate each other's uniqueness without attempting to diminish or control it. Respect allows you to disagree without devaluing one another, to confront challenges without resorting to cruelty, and to grow individually without fear of judgment. It's the quiet acknowledgement of each other's humanity, the unspoken agreement to treat one another with care and dignity. Disrespect can manifest in many ways, some subtle and others glaringly obvious. It might be a dismissive comment, a sarcastic tone, or outright insults meant to belittle or demean. It could be ignoring your partner's feelings, constantly interrupting them, or invalidating their opinions. These behaviors, though they may seem minor in isolation, accumulate over time, chipping away at the foundation of the relationship. The harm isn't just in the words or actions themselves, it's in the message they send: you don't matter as much as I do. More overt forms of disrespect, such as name-calling, yelling, or public humiliation, are even more damaging. They strip away a person's confidence and sense of security, leaving behind scars that are often difficult to heal. These acts don't just hurt in the moment, they linger, creating a toxic environment where love cannot thrive. A relationship riddled with disrespect becomes a battleground rather than a sanctuary, a place where one or both partners feel constantly attacked or undermined. One of the most insidious aspects of disrespect is its ability to erode self-worth. When you tolerate disrespect, even inadvertently, you send a message to yourself and your partner that such behavior is acceptable. Over time, this can lead to a cycle where disrespect becomes normalized, and your sense of what you deserve begins to diminish. You may start questioning your own value, wondering if you're the problem or if your feelings are overreactions. This is the trap of disrespect that convinces you to settle for less than you're worth. Excusing disrespect often stems from a fear of conflict or a desire to preserve the relationship at all costs. But in doing so, you're not saving the relationship, you're enabling its deterioration. Tolerating disrespect doesn't make you strong, or forgiving it makes you complicit in your own unhappiness. True strength lies in setting boundaries and demanding the respect you deserve, even if it means facing difficult conversations, or in some cases, walking away. Respect is non-negotiable because it is the foundation upon which everything else in a relationship is built. Without it, love loses its purity, trust becomes fragile, and communication breaks down. A partner who truly values you will never resort to disrespect, even in moments of anger or frustration. They will recognize that respect is not just a courtesy, but a reflection of their commitment to you and the relationship. To excuse or tolerate disrespect is to betray yourself. It's to ignore your own needs and well-being for the sake of maintaining a relationship that, by its very nature, is harming you. No amount of love can compensate for a lack of respect, because love without respect is not love at all. It's control, manipulation, or convenience. Walking away from a relationship where disrespect is present isn't an act of defeat, it's an act of self-preservation. It's a declaration that you will not settle for anything less than what you deserve. Respect isn't a luxury or a bonus, it's the bare minimum. And if it's not there, the relationship is not worth keeping. Actions speak louder than words. a truth that becomes especially evident in relationships. Words can be powerful and persuasive, but they are ultimately empty without the actions to back them up. Promises, no matter how heartfelt or eloquent, mean nothing if the behavior of the person making them consistently contradicts their declarations. In a healthy relationship, actions and words align, creating a foundation of trust, consistency, and reliability. When actions betray words, however, the bond between two people is undermined, leaving behind confusion, disappointment, and a growing sense of disillusionment. Promises are easy to make. They often come in moments of heightened emotion, where someone might say what they believe the other person wants to hear or what they wish were true. "I'll change, I'll do better," or "I'll never hurt you again," can be comforting to hear. But the true test lies in whether those promises translate into genuine, sustained effort. When actions repeatedly fail to support those words, the promises become hollow, eroding trust and leaving the listener skeptical of anything said in the future. Consistency between words and actions is vital in building trust. Imagine a partner who promises to always prioritize the relationship but consistently neglects your needs, fails to communicate, or disregards your feelings. Over time, the disparity between what they say and what they do creates emotional turmoil. You begin to doubt not only their promises but also their intentions and commitment. It's not just the broken promises that hurt, it's the realization that their words were never anchored in genuine effort or respect for the relationship. Actions reveal a person's true character and priorities. Someone who truly values the relationship will show it through their behavior by being present, attentive, and reliable. They don't just say they care, they demonstrate it in tangible ways. They follow through on their commitments, no matter how small, and take accountability when they fall short. In contrast, someone whose actions consistently contradict their words sends a clear message. Their promises are not a reflection of their values or intentions, but rather a tool to placate or manipulate. It's important to recognize the difference between an occasional slip-up and a consistent pattern of broken promises. Everyone makes mistakes, and life's challenges can sometimes get in the way of fulfilling even the most well-intentioned promises. What matters in those moments is how the person responds. Do they take responsibility, apologize, and make a genuine effort to do better? Or do they offer excuses, deflect blame, and continue the same behavior? A partner's response to their own shortcomings speaks volumes about their respect for you and the relationship. Continuing to accept empty promises can lead to a damaging cycle. The person making the promises learns that their words are enough to maintain the relationship, even if their actions don't change. Meanwhile, the person on the receiving end becomes trapped in a pattern of hope and disappointment, holding on to the belief that this time things will be different. Over time, this dynamic can take a toll on self-esteem, fostering feelings of unworthiness and frustration. Breaking free from this cycle requires setting clear boundaries and holding the other person accountable for their actions. It means refusing to settle for words alone and demanding the consistency and respect you deserve. While it's natural to want to believe in someone's promises, especially when love is involved, it's essential to prioritize your own well-being and emotional health. A partner who truly values you will understand that their actions need to align with their words and will make the effort to earn your trust. Actions are the truest measure of a person's intentions and commitment. Words can be persuasive, but they are fleeting, while actions leave a lasting impact. When someone consistently betrays their promises through their behavior, they show you who they truly are. It's up to you to believe them, even if their words try to tell a different story. Love, respect, and trust thrive in consistency, and a relationship where actions and words align is one worth investing in. Knowing your worth is one of the most empowering realizations you can have, especially in relationships. It's the recognition that you deserve to be valued, respected, and treated with dignity. When someone repeatedly undervalues you, whether through their actions, words, or lack of appreciation, it's a clear indication that they are not capable of recognizing your true value. Staying in such a situation diminishes your self-esteem, compromises your happiness, and chips away at your sense of self-respect. Walking away is not an act of giving up. It's a courageous step toward preserving your dignity and embracing the worth you know you possess. When you're in a relationship where you are undervalued, the signs often manifest subtly at first. It might begin with small dismissive comments, a lack of gratitude for your efforts, or consistently putting their needs above yours. Over time, these patterns become more pronounced and you find yourself feeling unimportant or taken for granted. You start questioning your own value because the person who should be uplifting you seems to be doing the opposite. This erosion of self-worth is one of the most toxic effects of being undervalued in a relationship. A partner who truly values you will make an effort to show it in both big and small ways. They will listen to you, celebrate your successes, and stand by you in moments of difficulty. They will respect your boundaries, honor your feelings, and contribute to the relationship with the same enthusiasm and care that you do. On the other hand, someone who undervalues you will do the opposite. They'll dismiss your concerns, minimize your achievements, and expect you to compromise constantly while they give little in return. One of the most insidious aspects of being undervalued is the gradual normalization of the behavior. You might begin to make excuses for their actions, convincing yourself that they're busy, stressed, or simply unaware of how they're treating you. While it's natural to want to see the best in someone you care about, ignoring consistent patterns of undervaluing behavior can lead to a cycle of emotional neglect. Each time you overlook their disregard for your worth, you unintentionally send the message that their behavior is acceptable. Recognizing your worth is about understanding that you are deserving of love, respect, and reciprocity. It's about realizing that your feelings, opinions, and contributions matter. When you hold this belief firmly, it becomes easier to identify when someone is not treating you in alignment with your value. You begin to see that staying in a situation where you are undervalued is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a reflection of their inability to appreciate it. Walking away from someone who undervalues you is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you refuse to settle for less than what you deserve. This decision can be difficult, especially if you've invested time, energy, and emotion into the relationship. However, it's important to remember that staying in an environment where you are undervalued will only prolong your unhappiness and prevent you from finding the love and respect you deserve. Choosing to leave doesn't mean you don't care about the person. It means you care about yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. It's about understanding that your value isn't determined by how someone else treats you, but by how you view and treat yourself. When you walk away, you're not only protecting your dignity, but also creating space for someone who will genuinely appreciate and cherish you. The process of reclaiming your worth begins with self-reflection. Acknowledge your strengths, celebrate your achievements, and remind yourself of the unique qualities that make you who you are. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, and distance yourself from those who make you feel small. By doing so, you reaffirm your commitment to living a life that aligns with your value. Knowing your worth means refusing to tolerate anything less than respect, love, and appreciation. It means understanding that being undervalued is not a reflection of you, but of the other person's inability to recognize your greatness. And it means having the courage to walk away when necessary, not out of bitterness or anger, but out of love for yourself and the future you deserve. Patterns are powerful indicators of a person's true character. While a single mistake can be forgiven as an isolated error, a consistent pattern of betrayal or harm reveals much more about who someone is at their core. Patterns do not lie, they provide undeniable evidence of behavior and intent over time. When someone repeatedly engages in actions that hurt or undermine you, it's no longer about a moment of poor judgment. It's a reflection of their values, priorities, and ultimately their character. Recognizing and addressing these patterns is crucial for protecting your emotional well-being and dignity. In relationships, everyone makes mistakes. Misunderstandings happen, tempers flare, and poor decisions are sometimes made. What separates a genuine mistake from a pattern is how the person responds afterward. Do they acknowledge their wrongdoing, take accountability, and make an effort to improve? Or do they brush it off, repeat the behavior, and offer empty apologies? A single incident can be explained or excused, but repeated harmful actions signal a deeper issue that cannot be ignored. When faced with a consistent pattern of betrayal, it's tempting to hold on to the hope that things will change. Love and emotional attachment can cloud judgment, leading you to rationalize the other person's actions or give them the benefit of the doubt. You might tell yourself, "This time is different," or "They didn't mean it," even when their behavior repeatedly contradicts those beliefs. However, ignoring patterns only prolongs the pain and prevents you from seeing the situation for what it truly is. Patterns also reveal a person's priorities. Someone who repeatedly betrays your trust, disrespects your boundaries, or fails to honor their commitments shows where their true focus lies. If their actions consistently prioritize their own desires or convenience over your well-being, it becomes clear that they are unwilling or unable to put the relationship first. While their words may promise change, their repeated behavior speaks volumes about their true intentions. Trust is often the first casualty of repeated harmful patterns. Each instance of betrayal chips away at the foundation of the relationship, leaving you feeling uncertain, insecure, and unvalued. Over time, the emotional toll becomes overwhelming. You find yourself questioning not only the other person's intentions, but also your own judgment for staying in the situation. This erosion of trust is not easily repaired, especially when the other person continues to demonstrate the same damaging behavior. It's important to recognize that consistent patterns of harm are not accidental. They are deliberate choices, whether conscious or unconscious, made by the person engaging in them. While they may offer excuses, blame external factors, or minimize their actions, the reality is that they have chosen to behave in a way that hurts you. Accepting this truth can be painful, but it's also liberating. It allows you to stop searching for excuses or justifications and start prioritizing your own well-being. Breaking free from a relationship characterized by harmful patterns requires courage and self-awareness. It means acknowledging that the other person's behavior is unlikely to change, no matter how much you hope or try to help them. It also means recognizing that staying in such a relationship comes at the cost of your emotional health and happiness. Walking away is not a failure, it's an act of self-respect and a commitment to seeking the love and respect you deserve. Once you recognize a pattern for what it is, the decision to leave becomes clearer. While love may complicate matters, it's important to remember that love should never come at the expense of your dignity or peace of mind. True love is rooted in mutual respect, trust, and kindness, qualities that cannot coexist with a pattern of betrayal or harm. Patterns do not lie. They reveal the truth about a person's character and their capacity for change. When someone shows you through repeated actions who they are, believe them. Protecting your heart and your future means paying attention to these patterns and having the strength to walk away when necessary. By doing so, you honor yourself and create space for relationships that uplift and nurture you, rather than tear you down. Love, in its truest form, is a force that elevates and empowers. It is not something that diminishes you, breaks your spirit, or leaves you questioning your worth. A genuine partnership should inspire you to grow, heal, and flourish. It should be a safe space where you can be your authentic self, free from fear or judgment. Anything less than this is not love. It is a compromise that slowly chips away at your sense of self and your happiness. Recognizing the difference between love that elevates and love that harms is essential for your emotional and mental well-being. A loving relationship should be a partnership of equals, where both individuals encourage each other to pursue their dreams, overcome challenges, and become the best versions of themselves. When love is genuine, it is characterized by mutual respect, support, and understanding. Your partner becomes your greatest cheerleader, standing beside you through life's ups and downs, offering unwavering encouragement and belief in your abilities. This kind of love strengthens you, giving you the confidence to face the world knowing that someone has your back. On the other hand, love that breaks you does the opposite. It leaves you feeling drained, insecure, and unworthy. Instead of building you up, it tears you down with constant criticism, neglect, or manipulation. It creates an environment where you feel as though you must shrink yourself or compromise your values to maintain the relationship. Over time, this kind of love erodes your self-esteem, making you doubt your worth and your ability to find happiness elsewhere. True love requires effort and intention from both partners. It's not just about grand gestures or fleeting moments of passion, but about the everyday actions that demonstrate care and commitment. It's in the way your partner listens to you, values your opinions, and takes your feelings into account. It's in the way they celebrate your successes and provide comfort during your struggles. These consistent acts of love and kindness create a foundation of trust and security, allowing the relationship to thrive. When love becomes one-sided or conditional, it loses its authenticity. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving, or if your partner only shows affection when it's convenient for them, the relationship becomes imbalanced. Love that elevates is reciprocal. It is a shared effort where both partners contribute equally to each other's happiness and growth. Anything less than this is not love, but a situation where your needs and well-being are overlooked. It's important to remember that love is not supposed to hurt. While every relationship has its challenges, these should not come at the expense of your dignity or peace of mind. Conflict, when handled with care and mutual respect, can strengthen a relationship. But when disagreements turn into cycles of blame, control, or emotional harm, it's a clear sign that the relationship is no longer serving its intended purpose. Walking away from a love that breaks you is not a sign of failure. It is a courageous act of self-preservation. It's an acknowledgement that you deserve better, that you deserve a love that lifts you up rather than pulls you down. This decision can be difficult, especially when you've invested time and emotion into the relationship. But staying in a harmful situation out of fear or attachment only prolongs the pain and prevents you from finding the love you truly deserve. Choosing a love that elevates means choosing yourself first. It means valuing your happiness, dreams, and self-worth enough to demand a partnership that aligns with your highest good. It also means setting boundaries and refusing to accept anything less than respect, kindness, and authenticity. When you hold yourself to these standards, you create the conditions for a relationship that not only survives but thrives. Love should be a source of light in your life, not darkness. It should bring joy, not sorrow, strength, not weakness. If a relationship breaks you instead of lifting you, it's not love, it's a lesson. And the most valuable lesson you can learn is that you deserve a love that elevates, empowers, and celebrates the incredible person you are. Relationships are meant to nurture, uplift, and empower, not to break, diminish, or devalue you. Trust, respect, consistency, and the actions that back up words are the cornerstones of true love. Patterns of betrayal, neglect, or harm should never be excused, as they reveal a deeper truth about someone's character. Most importantly, know your worth and never settle for less than a love that honors, values, and elevates you. Walking away from a relationship that no longer serves your highest good is not weakness, it is a profound act of strength and self-respect. Choose to protect your peace, prioritize your happiness, and create space for the love you truly deserve. Always remember, love should be a source of joy, not pain, a reflection of your value, not a question of it. Thank you for allowing me to share this message with you today. May you find the strength to seek and embrace the love that aligns with the best version of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get real tonight. What if the person you're thinking about day in and day out is also holding their silence? What if they too are doing no contact? How does that make you feel? Confused, frustrated, or maybe liberated? Here's the truth. No contact isn't a game, it's a stage for reflection, a stage for healing. But the problem is, too many of us treat it like a chess match. We sit there, staring at the board, waiting for their move. But I need you to understand, this isn't about their move, it's about yours. You see, silence isn't just absence, it's presence in another form. Silence is powerful. It's where the mind speaks what the mouth can't. And if he's silent too, that's not your cue to panic, that's your cue to focus. I know what you're thinking, but what if he never breaks the silence? What if he's forgotten about me? Let me tell you something, your worth doesn't shrink in someone else's absence. If he's also holding back, that's not a sign of rejection, that's a sign of respect. Respect for your space, your journey, your growth. But here's the kicker, don't get stuck in the waiting room. You have two choices. You can sit there, replaying every conversation, every mistake, or you can stand up, look in the mirror, and say, I'm not waiting for anyone to validate my value. When two people step back, it's not the distance that defines them, it's what they do with it. Are you growing or are you shrinking? Because while you're sitting there asking, what if he's doing no contact too? You could be building something extraordinary yourself. Patience, my friends, isn't about sitting still. Patience is active. It's working on your mind, your body, your spirit, so that no matter what happens, whether he breaks the silence or stays away, you remain unshaken. So I'll leave you with this, don't ask what he's doing with his silence. Ask what you're doing with yours. Because when the silence breaks in it, will you want to meet them not as the person they left behind, but as the person they can't help but admire? No contact is often misunderstood. People see it as a strategy, a tool to manipulate emotions, or even a punishment for someone who's hurt them. But in its essence, no contact is not about retribution or gamesmanship, it's about growth and clarity for both you and the other person. When approached with the right mindset, it becomes a transformative process, a space where true understanding emerges, not just about the relationship, but about yourself. Imagine a garden overrun with weeds. The plants you want to flourish are choked by the overgrowth, and no amount of watering will bring them back to health unless you first clear the space. This is what no contact does. It clears the emotional clutter. It removes the distractions and external noise that often prevent us from seeing what is truly happening in our relationships and within ourselves. It's a pause, not a punishment. It's a reset, not revenge. But let's be clear, no contact is not easy. It's like holding up a mirror to your soul, forcing you to confront emotions you may have tried to avoid. The silence can feel deafening at first. You might find yourself questioning everything what you said, what they said, what you could have done differently. It's tempting to reach out, to fill the void with some form of connection, even if it's fleeting. But growth happens in the void. Clarity comes when you sit with the discomfort long enough to understand it. During no contact, emotions run high. Regret, anger, sadness, and even longing bubble to the surface. These emotions aren't here to torment you, they're here to teach you. They show you where your wounds are, what triggers you, and what you truly need. They reveal whether your desire to reconnect is rooted in love or simply in fear of being alone. And that's the clarity no contact provides. It forces you to distinguish between what's genuine and what's merely habitual. For the other person, no contact does the same. They too are left with their thoughts and emotions. Without the constant interaction, they are given the space to reflect on their own role in the relationship. Did they take you for granted? Did they fully appreciate what you brought into their life? Or perhaps they come to understand their own limitations, realizing that they couldn't meet your needs despite their best efforts. This mutual space of reflection can be incredibly powerful, even if it feels like nothing is happening on the surface. But here's where no contact becomes a double-edged sword. If used improperly, it can lead to bitterness and misunderstanding. If your intention is to win or make the other person feel guilty, the entire process becomes counterproductive. Growth and clarity can only emerge from authenticity. If you're secretly checking their social media, waiting for them to text, or hoping that your absence will make them chase you, you're still tethered to the relationship in a way that prevents true healing. No contact only works when you let go, not just of the person, but of the outcome. Clarity also doesn't always bring the answers you expect. Sometimes it reveals that the relationship wasn't as strong as you believed. It might show you that the connection was based more on need than on mutual respect and understanding. And that realization can hurt. But it's better to face the truth than to live in a cycle of doubt and insecurity. Clarity is a gift, even when it's painful, because it gives you the freedom to move forward with confidence. Growth, on the other hand, is the reward of enduring the process. When you stop focusing on what the other person is doing or feeling, you have the opportunity to turn inward. You rediscover your passions, your strengths, and your resilience. You learn to enjoy your own company, to find peace in solitude. You realize that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone else. And that's a powerful shift. It's not about becoming indifferent or unfeeling, it's about becoming whole. The beauty of no contact is that it doesn't require the other person's participation. Whether they choose to reflect and grow is up to them. What matters is what you do with the time and space you've been given. It's a chance to break old patterns, to redefine your boundaries, and to envision the kind of relationships you truly want in the future. No contact is an act of self-respect. It says, I value myself enough to step back and assess what's truly best for me. It's not a weapon to hurt someone else, it's a shield to protect your peace and foster your healing. And in doing so, it creates the possibility for something better, whether that's a renewed connection built on stronger foundations or the courage to walk away and embrace new opportunities. So while no contact may feel like a double-edged sword, it's one worth wielding. If used with intention and integrity, it cuts through the confusion, leaving behind a clearer, stronger version of yourself. And that clarity is worth every moment of silence. Silence is often misunderstood. To many, it feels like a void, a hollow space where nothing happens. But silence is far from empty, it is full of potential, a powerful space where emotions settle, thoughts realign, and priorities take shape. Silence speaks in ways that words often cannot, offering clarity and understanding if we are willing to listen. In silence, the mind begins to process what might otherwise be drowned out by noise. We live in a world that values constant communication, where every pause feels uncomfortable and every quiet moment begs to be filled. But when we embrace silence, we create room for reflection. In those moments, our deepest feelings rise to the surface, and we begin to understand them more clearly. It is in silence that we hear the whispers of our own hearts, unfiltered by the expectations and opinions of others. Silence can be intimidating. It feels like a confrontation with oneself, a mirror reflecting back thoughts and emotions we might prefer to ignore. But this confrontation is necessary. Silence allows us to face our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities. It doesn't rush us to fix them. It simply holds space for us to acknowledge their presence. In doing so, we begin to untangle the complexities of our inner world piece by piece. When silence occurs between people, it carries its own weight. It might feel awkward or uncomfortable, especially in relationships where communication is key. Yet, this kind of silence is not necessarily a sign of disconnect. Sometimes it is in the absence of words that we come to understand the depth of our emotions. Silence can convey what words fail to express: grief, love, regret, or hope. It allows emotions to be felt in their rawest form, unadorned by explanations or justifications. In relationships, silence can also be a period of reorganization. When two people take a step back and pause their interactions, it's not always an ending. Sometimes it's a recalibration. It's a chance for each individual to assess their feelings, their needs, and their boundaries. Silence creates the distance needed for self-discovery. It gives each person the opportunity to determine what truly matters without the pressure of immediate response or resolution. The power of silence lies in its neutrality. It doesn't force conclusions or demand action. It simply exists, waiting for us to fill it with meaning. And that meaning often becomes clearer over time. In the noise of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what's important. Silence strips away the distractions, leaving us with the essence of our thoughts and emotions. It encourages us to prioritize, to let go of what no longer serves us and focus on what truly matters. In a world obsessed with constant connection, silence can feel like rejection. When someone we care about is silent, we might interpret it as indifference or anger. But silence doesn't always mean absence sometimes. It's a form of presence. It's a way of holding space for emotions that are too complex for words. It's a reminder that not every moment requires action or explanation. Silence can also be a gift to ourselves. It's in those quiet moments that we reconnect with who we are. We remember what we value, what we dream of, and what we stand for. Silence allows us to hear the voice within the one that gets drowned out by the world's demands. It's in silence that we find our strength, our purpose, and our peace. But silence is not just about introspection. It's also about creating space for growth. When we stop talking, we start listening, truly listening, not just to others, but to ourselves and to the world around us. We begin to notice things we might have overlooked: the beauty of a quiet sunrise, the rhythm of our breath, the stillness that brings calm to our chaotic minds. Silence is not something to be feared or avoided. It's a tool, a sanctuary, and a teacher. It challenges us to face ourselves and our truths. It encourages us to slow down, to reflect, and to realign. And when we emerge from silence, we do so with greater clarity, purpose, and strength. So, the next time you encounter silence, resist the urge to fill it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Let it guide you to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Because silence is never empty, it is full of meaning, waiting to be discovered. Self-worth is the foundation of everything we do, yet it's often the first thing we compromise when faced with rejection, heartbreak, or uncertainty in relationships. It becomes easy to tie our value to someone else's actions, to their approval or attention. But self-worth is non-negotiable. It cannot be dictated by someone else's choices, and it should never be put on hold while you wait for someone else to decide your importance. No contact, at its core, is not about manipulation or strategy. It's not about waiting for someone else to notice your absence or make the next move. It's about reclaiming your power and recognizing that your worth doesn't depend on another person's validation. It's a time to shift the focus away from them and onto yourself, a time to nurture your sense of self-worth and remind yourself of the incredible value you bring to the table. Too often, we give away our power in relationships subtly or overtly in the hope of being chosen or loved. We adjust our boundaries, compromise our needs, and silence our instincts, all to maintain a connection that may not be serving us. This is where the erosion of self-worth begins. It happens slowly, almost imperceptibly, until one day we look in the mirror and hardly recognize the person staring back. No contact is an opportunity to reverse that process, to stop the cycle of giving more than we receive, and to rebuild the foundation of who we are. Reclaiming your self-worth starts with understanding that you are enough, just as you are. You don't need someone else's presence to complete you, nor do you need their absence to define you. Your value is inherent, it exists, whether or not anyone else acknowledges it. This realization can be liberating, but it requires effort and intentionality, especially in the silence of no contact. The period of no contact is not passive. It's not about sitting by the phone, hoping they'll call, or refreshing your messages to see if they've reached out. That mindset keeps you tethered to their actions, allowing them to dictate your emotional state. Instead, no contact should be a time of active self-reflection and growth. It's a time to ask yourself important questions. Who am I when I'm not trying to please someone else? What do I want for my future? What makes me happy, independent of anyone else's influence? As you explore these questions, you begin to see that your self-worth is not conditional. It doesn't depend on whether someone chooses to be in your life or not. It doesn't hinge on their opinion of you or their willingness to meet your needs. Your worth is constant, unshakable, and entirely within your control. This is a powerful realization because it shifts the narrative. No longer are you the person waiting on someone else's actions, you become the person deciding your own destiny. Reclaiming your power also means redefining what you will and will not accept in relationships. No contact is a time to establish boundaries, not as a punishment to the other person, but as an act of self-respect. It's a chance to decide what behaviors you're willing to tolerate and what you absolutely will not. This clarity becomes a guiding principle, helping you navigate future interactions with confidence and self-assurance. One of the most transformative aspects of no contact is the way it highlights your inner strength. It's not easy to resist the urge to reach out, to fill the silence with words, or to seek reassurance from someone else. But every day that you choose yourself over the need for external validation, you build resilience. You prove to yourself that you can stand on your own, that you are capable of creating happiness and fulfillment without relying on anyone else. This period of growth doesn't just benefit you, it transforms the energy you bring to all your relationships. When you know your worth, you stop settling for less. You attract people who respect and value you because you respect and value yourself. The energy shifts and suddenly you're no longer chasing love or approval. It comes to you naturally because of the confidence and self-respect you exude. Self-worth is not something you bargain with. It's not something you hand over to someone else hoping they'll protect it for you. It's yours to nurture, to guard, and to cherish. No contact is a way to reclaim that worth, to remind yourself that you are deserving of love, respect, and kindness, not because someone else says so, but because you say so. So as you navigate the silence of no contact, remember this: it's not about waiting for someone else's move. It's about making your own moves, rediscovering your power, and embracing the unshakable truth that your self-worth is, and always will be, non-negotiable. When two people engage in no contact simultaneously, it creates a space not of indifference, but of profound introspection. This phenomenon, often referred to as the mirror effect, serves as a reflection of the dynamic between the individuals. It's not just about absence, it's about mutual self-discovery, where both parties are given the time and silence needed to evaluate what truly matters in their lives and in their relationship. In relationships, emotions can become tangled. Words are exchanged, sometimes hastily or without clarity, and actions may not always align with intentions. When no contact begins, it presses pause on this cycle, offering a rare moment of stillness. If both individuals engage in no contact, it signifies a shared need for space to process these emotions and reflect on their feelings. This mutual silence is not a void, but a fertile ground for growth and clarity. The mirror effect reveals that relationships are not merely about the other person, they are about the interplay between two individuals and their inner worlds. When both people step away, it allows them to view the relationship from a distance, gaining perspective on what was working, what wasn't, and what they truly value. This reflection often highlights the deeper dynamics at play, offering insights that are difficult to see amid constant interaction. No contact creates a paradox. The silence feels heavy, yet it carries the potential for transformation. When both parties choose this path, it often reflects an unspoken agreement, a recognition that clarity cannot emerge from noise. Instead of reacting impulsively, they allow the space for intentional thought. In this quiet, emotions that were once overwhelming begin to settle, and priorities start to realign. For the individuals involved, this time apart is as much about self-discovery as it is about evaluating the relationship. It challenges them to confront their feelings without the influence of the other person. Without daily communication, they are left with their thoughts, their hopes, and their fears. This solitude can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It forces them to ask themselves essential questions: what do I want from this relationship? How do I truly feel about the other person? Am I acting out of love, fear, or habit? In this mutual journey of self-discovery, the mirror effect comes into play. As each person reflects on themselves, they inevitably begin to understand the other more deeply. This isn't because they're communicating directly, but because the silence creates a space for empathy. They might consider the other person's perspective, acknowledging their emotions and struggles. This shift often fosters a deeper sense of compassion and understanding, even without words. The mirror effect also underscores the importance of balance in relationships. When two people are both doing no contact, it's a sign that they are giving equal weight to their need for clarity and growth. This balance is crucial because it ensures that neither party is dominating the emotional dynamic. Instead, they are both taking responsibility for their part in the relationship, whether that means recognizing mistakes, reevaluating priorities, or simply acknowledging the need for self-care. This process doesn't guarantee reconciliation, nor does it always lead to closure. The outcome of no contact varies, depending on the individuals and the circumstances. However, what it does guarantee is growth. By stepping away and reflecting on what truly matters, both people emerge with a better understanding of themselves and what they want in a relationship. Whether they come back together or move forward separately, they do so with greater clarity and purpose. The mirror effect also challenges us to recognize that relationships are not just about presence, they're about connection. And connection doesn't always require constant communication. Sometimes the strongest bonds are forged in silence, where mutual respect and understanding take root. When two people simultaneously engage in no contact, it can be a sign of this unspoken connection, a shared acknowledgement that growth and clarity must come first. The mirror effect is a reminder that no contact isn't just an act of withdrawal. It's an act of intention. It reflects a dynamic where both individuals are willing to confront themselves and their feelings honestly. They are not avoiding each other, but creating the space needed to grow, both individually and as potential partners. In this mutual silence, there is an opportunity for transformation. Each person has the chance to rediscover who they are, what they value, and what they truly want. And in doing so, they reflect this same process onto the other, creating a dynamic of mutual self-discovery. Whether this leads them back together or onto separate paths, the journey itself is invaluable. It's a testament to the power of introspection, the strength of silence, and the depth of relationships that go beyond words. Patience is a virtue often praised but seldom practiced, especially in matters of the heart. When emotions run high and uncertainty clouds judgment, the pull toward desperation can feel overwhelming. It's tempting to act, to say something, to do anything that might restore control or elicit a response. But desperation is a thief of clarity, a force that clouds judgment and leads to impulsive decisions that rarely serve our best interests. On the other hand, patience, the ability to wait with grace and trust, has the power to nurture wisdom, offering the clarity needed to discern what's real and what's worth holding on to. Desperation stems from fear of loss, rejection, or the unknown. It manifests as an urgent need to resolve uncertainty, often at the expense of reason and dignity. In moments of desperation, the mind fixates on worst-case scenarios, amplifying anxiety and driving actions that may push others away rather than bring them closer. A rushed message, a pleading call, or a gesture made in haste may feel cathartic in the moment, but it often serves as a bandage for deeper wounds that require introspection and time to heal. Patience, on the other hand, is rooted in trust in oneself, trust in the process, and trust in the timing of life. It requires discipline and self-restraint, qualities that can feel counterintuitive when emotions demand immediate resolution. But patience is not passive. It's an active choice to pause, reflect, and allow time to bring clarity. It's the recognition that answers often emerge not through force, but through stillness, when the noise of desperation has subsided and the truth can rise to the surface. When faced with uncertainty in a relationship or situation, patience creates a space for wisdom to grow. It allows you to step back and observe the bigger picture, free from the haze of heightened emotions. In this space, you can evaluate your feelings, intentions, and boundaries with greater objectivity. Are you acting out of love and respect, or are you driven by fear and insecurity? Are your actions aligned with your values, or are they a reaction to temporary discomfort? These questions cannot be answered in the heat of desperation. They require the cool clarity that only patience can provide. Time, when paired with patience, becomes a powerful ally. It reveals what is real and enduring while stripping away what is fleeting and superficial. In relationships, time can test the strength of connections, showing whether they are built on mutual respect and understanding or on convenience and habit. A bond that endures the test of time is often one worth cherishing, while one that fades in its absence signals that its foundation may not have been as strong as it seemed. Patience also allows for personal growth. When you resist the urge to act out of desperation, you give yourself the opportunity to focus inward, nurturing your sense of self and rediscovering your own strength. You begin to see that your worth is not determined by another person's actions or presence, but by the way you value and care for yourself. This period of growth can be transformative, helping you approach the situation or any future relationships with greater confidence and clarity. Desperation, by contrast, often leads to regret. It compels you to seek validation outside yourself, placing your happiness and sense of worth in someone else's hands. This not only diminishes your power, but can also create an unhealthy dynamic, where your actions are driven by fear rather than authenticity. In the long run, such behavior can erode relationships as it places undue pressure on the other person and undermines the trust and respect that are essential for a healthy connection. Choosing patience over desperation doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending not to care. It means acknowledging your feelings while resisting the urge to act impulsively. It's about finding strength in restraint and trusting that time will bring clarity. This doesn't guarantee the outcome you hope for, but it does ensure that whatever outcome arises will be approached with wisdom and self-respect. Patience teaches you to let go of the need to control everything. It reminds you that some things are beyond your grasp and that forcing outcomes often leads to unintended consequences. By embracing patience, you allow life to unfold naturally, trusting that what is meant for you will come to you in due time. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also fosters a sense of peace, as you learn to let go of what you cannot change and focus on what you can. Patience nurtures wisdom, offering the clarity needed to make decisions that align with your values and long-term happiness. It helps you distinguish between what is worth waiting for and what is better left behind. By choosing patience over desperation, you reclaim your power, honor your self-worth, and allow time to reveal the truth. And in that truth, you find the strength to move forward with grace, no matter the outcome. When faced with the uncertainty of no contact, it's easy to spiral into questions about what the other person is doing, feeling, or thinking. Are they missing you? Are they also choosing no contact as a strategy, or is it indifference? But in truth, these questions distract from the one that truly matters. What are you doing with your time, energy, and life? Shifting focus from their power to yours isn't just a mindset shift, it's a declaration of independence, a reclaiming of the energy you've been giving away. At its core, the decision to focus on your power begins with recognizing where your attention is going. Every time you dwell on what the other person might be doing, you're handing over your energy to a situation you cannot control. You're giving their actions or lack of them more influence over your life than they deserve. But your power lies in what you can control: your thoughts, your choices, and the way you spend your days. By redirecting your focus inward, you reclaim that energy and reinvest it where it can grow and flourish. This isn't about pretending you don't care or dismissing your feelings. Acknowledge them. Grief, confusion, or longing are all valid. But dwelling on the other person's potential actions keeps you stuck in a cycle of speculation. It prevents you from seeing the opportunities that exist in the present moment. Every moment spent wondering about them is a moment not spent building your life, nurturing your growth, or exploring your passions. It's a trade-off, and the cost is often higher than you realize. Focusing on your power also means taking responsibility for your narrative. Instead of framing this period as a waiting game to see what they'll do, see it as a chapter in your own story, a chapter where you rediscover your strength and redefine what matters to you. What are your goals? What dreams have you put on hold while pouring energy into the relationship? This is the time to revisit those dreams, to channel your energy into pursuits that ignite your passion and bring you joy. The more you invest in yourself, the more you grow, and that growth becomes its own reward. Another critical aspect of reclaiming your power is recognizing your worth. Your value isn't determined by someone else's actions or absence. It's rooted in who you are, in the unique qualities you bring to the world. When you focus on their power, whether they're reaching out, thinking of you, or staying silent, you're placing your self-worth in their hands. But your worth isn't negotiable, and it isn't something that fluctuates based on someone else's behavior. By focusing on yourself, you reaffirm that truth every day. This shift in focus also allows you to break free from the narrative of lack. When you're fixated on them, it's easy to feel like something is missing, like their presence is the key to your happiness. But when you redirect your energy inward, you begin to see the abundance in your own life, the friends who uplift you, the hobbies that bring you peace, the goals that excite you. You realize that your life is rich and full, not because of someone else, but because of who you are and the effort you put into living authentically. Focusing on your power also sets a tone for future interactions, whether with this person or someone new. When you stand rooted in your own strength, you approach relationships from a place of confidence, not neediness. You're no longer seeking validation or reassurance because you found it within yourself. This shift not only benefits you, but also changes the dynamic of any relationship you enter. You're not there to be completed, you're there to share your completeness. This period of no contact is a mirror, reflecting back to you the areas where you've perhaps given too much or lost sight of yourself. Use this time wisely. Develop routines that nourish your body and mind. Explore interests that expand your horizons. Surround yourself with people and experiences that remind you of your vibrancy. The more you focus on your own growth, the less their actions or inactions will hold sway over you. The question isn't about whether they're doing no contact too. That's their journey, their choice, and their process to navigate. The real question is what you're doing with the gift of this time. Are you using it to dwell in uncertainty, or are you seizing it as an opportunity to rise stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled? The choice is yours, and it's a powerful one. By focusing on your power, not theirs, you take the reins of your life, ensuring that your energy, time, and effort are devoted to the one person you can always count on, yourself. In the journey of navigating no contact, the greatest revelation lies not in what the other person is doing, but in how you choose to respond. This period is not a time to lose yourself in speculation or desperation, but a rare and valuable opportunity to rediscover your strength, reclaim your energy, and refocus on what truly matters: your growth, your self-worth, and your life. By shifting the narrative from what they're doing to how you're evolving, you transform uncertainty into empowerment and waiting into action. Remember, your worth is not defined by someone else's actions, but by the love, respect, and effort you pour into yourself. Use this time to align with your values, embrace your individuality, and build a life so fulfilling that it reflects the power you've always had within you. Thank you for taking this moment to focus on your growth and allowing these words to be a part of your journey. Keep moving forward with strength and grace. You've got this.
My friend, I want you to understand something profound. Your words are the brush with which you paint the canvas of your life. If you desire to change the image before you, you must first change the words you speak, for they are not mere sounds, they are seeds. Each time you speak, you sow into the garden of your reality. When you declare, "I am healthy," you are planting the seed of vitality. When you affirm, "I am wealthy," you are commanding abundance to flow into your experience. And when you say, "I am loved," you summon the warmth of affection and connection into your life. But here is the secret: speak not as one who hopes or wishes. Speak as one who knows. The words you utter must carry the certainty of fulfillment. Say to yourself, "I am blessed not because you hope to be, but because you know you already are." This is not delusion, it is alignment with the infinite power that resides within you. Guard your inner conversations, for they shape your external world. If you have been speaking words of doubt, lack, or fear, recognize that you have been unwittingly creating obstacles in your own path. But do not despair. The moment you change your language, the tides of your life begin to shift. Begin each day by speaking blessings over every area of your life. Stand before the mirror and say, I am a magnet for success. I am overflowing with energy and health. I attract miracles wherever I go. As you speak, feel the truth of these words take root within you. And when fear creeps in, as it sometimes will, speak blessings even louder. Replace the whispers of doubt with declarations of faith. I am guided. I am protected. I am protected. I am unstoppable. The power of your faith will dismantle any barrier, no matter how insurmountable it may seem. Bless others as freely as you bless yourself. When you see a friend struggling, say to them, you are stronger than this. You are destined to overcome. Your words can lift them from despair and align them with their higher purpose. The universe responds to your voice. Speak as though you are the author of your destiny, because you are. Bless yourself abundantly and watch as your life transforms into a reflection of your highest aspirations. Words are not just sounds or symbols strung together, they are the very essence of creation. From the moment they leave your lips, they carry the power to build or destroy, to heal or harm, to uplift or oppress. This is not an abstract idea, but a fundamental truth that governs the way reality unfolds around you. When you speak, you are engaging with the creative energy of the universe itself, shaping your existence in ways that are both seen and unseen. Just consider for a moment the impact of a single phrase. When you tell yourself, I am capable, something shifts within you. A spark of confidence ignites, your posture straightens, and your mind begins to align with the reality of your capability. Conversely, when you utter words like, I can't do this, you create an invisible barrier that prevents progress. The spoken word is not passive, it is active, alive, and profoundly influential. The creative power of words is not a new concept. Across cultures and spiritual traditions, the spoken word is revered as a force of transformation. In sacred texts, the act of creation itself begins with the word, let there be light. This is not merely symbolic, it is a reminder that words possess the ability to call forth that which does not yet exist. When you declare blessings upon yourself, you are following this divine pattern, calling forth abundance, health, and joy from the unseen into the seen. But why do words hold such power? It is because they are expressions of your belief and intention. When you speak, you are not just communicating, you are affirming what you hold to be true. Your words reveal your inner state and simultaneously reinforce it. If you say, I am strong, you not only express your belief in your strength, but also strengthen that belief. This is why it is so crucial to choose your words wisely. Too often, people speak carelessly, unaware of the creative energy they are unleashing. Phrases like, I'm always unlucky, or I can't catch a break may seem harmless, but they are powerful declarations that shape your reality. Every time you repeat such statements, you reinforce a pattern of lack and limitation in your life. To change your reality, you must change the words you speak. Begin by becoming intentional about your language. Speak blessings over every aspect of your life, no matter the current circumstances. If you are facing financial difficulties, declare, I am a magnet for prosperity. Money flows to me effortlessly. If you are struggling with health issues, affirm, my body is healing, and I am becoming stronger every day. These declarations may feel unnatural at first, especially if they contradict your present experience. But remember, you are not speaking to describe your reality, you are speaking to create it. This process requires faith and persistence. It is not enough to say the words once and expect immediate results. Just as the seed takes time to grow into a tree, your spoken blessings need time to manifest. But as you continue to affirm your desired reality, you will notice subtle shifts. Opportunities will arise, solutions will appear, and your circumstances will begin to align with the reality you have been declaring. It is also important to speak your blessings with conviction. Words spoken without belief are like seeds scattered on rocky ground, they cannot take root. When you declare, I am loved or I am successful, feel the truth of these words as if they are already your reality. Visualize the outcomes you desire and let your emotions match the joy and gratitude of having received them. This emotional alignment amplifies the creative power of your words, accelerating their manifestation. The impact of your words extends beyond yourself. When you speak blessings upon others, you become a channel for divine energy, uplifting those around you. A kind word to a friend can reignite their hope. A word of encouragement to a stranger can transform their day. The blessings you speak to others often return to you multiplied, as the energy you put into the world inevitably flows back to you. But the most crucial aspect of this practice is consistency. You must make speaking blessings a daily habit, a natural part of your inner and outer dialogue. Begin each morning by affirming your worthiness, success, and health. Throughout the day, guard your words, ensuring they align with the reality you wish to create. And at night, speak words of gratitude and peace over yourself, setting the tone for a restful and rejuvenating sleep. As you embrace the power of the spoken word, you will witness remarkable transformations in your life. The blessings you declare will begin to manifest in ways that seem almost miraculous. You will come to understand that your words are not just tools of communication, they are instruments of creation, capable of shaping your reality into a reflection of your highest aspirations. Speak blessings upon yourself with unwavering faith, and watch as your life blossoms into a masterpiece of abundance, joy, and fulfillment. When you declare blessings upon your life, speak as if they are already done. This is the essence of creation, to align your words, thoughts, and feelings with the reality you wish to experience. Speaking as if it is done is not merely a ritual or a positive affirmation, it is a transformative act that bridges the gap between your current experience and the life you desire. It is a declaration of faith, a statement of certainty that what you seek is already yours. To speak as if it is done requires unwavering confidence. This confidence is not derived from the evidence of the physical world, for the world around you often mirrors your past beliefs and actions. Instead, this confidence comes from an inner knowing, a deep understanding that your words have creative power. When you say, "I am successful," you are not describing your current situation, you are creating a blueprint for the future. By speaking as though it is already true, you align your mind and spirit with the reality of success, and this alignment sets the wheels of manifestation into motion. The human mind is a powerful tool, but it is also impressionable. It does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined or declared. When you speak as if your desires are already fulfilled, your mind begins to accept this as truth. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions start to conform to this new belief, creating a ripple effect that influences every aspect of your life. This is not wishful thinking, it is the conscious use of your creative power to shape your reality. Imagine for a moment that you desire financial abundance. Instead of saying, "I hope to become financially stable someday," declare, "I am financially free. I have all the resources I need to live abundantly." At first, these words may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable, especially if your current situation reflects lack. But the discomfort is a sign that you are breaking free from old patterns of thought. As you continue to speak with conviction, you train your mind to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. You begin to notice opportunities you may have overlooked before, and your actions naturally align with the reality you are affirming. This principle applies to every area of life. If you desire better health, speak as though you are already thriving. "My body is strong, vibrant, and full of energy." If you seek love, affirm, "I am deeply loved and cherished." If you long for peace, declare, "I live in a state of perfect harmony and calm." The key is to speak in the present tense, as if the blessing is already manifested. By doing so, you shift your focus from the lack of what you want to the fulfillment of it. And this shift is what draws your desire into your experience. Speaking as if it is done also requires emotional alignment. Words alone are not enough, they must be infused with the feeling of certainty and gratitude. When you declare a blessing, imagine how you would feel if it were already true. Would you feel joy, relief, excitement, or peace? Allow these emotions to rise within you as you speak. This emotional energy amplifies the power of your words and creates a resonance between your inner state and the external reality you are creating. Faith is the foundation of this practice. To speak as if it is done is to act in faith, trusting that the unseen forces of the universe are working on your behalf. Faith is not blind optimism. It is a deliberate choice to believe in the power of your words and the infinite possibilities available to you. It is the courage to declare, "It is done," even when the physical evidence has yet to appear. Doubt may arise, and this is natural. The mind is conditioned to seek proof and reassurance, and when it does not see immediate results, it may question the validity of your declarations. When this happens, remind yourself that creation begins in the unseen. Just as a seed takes time to grow beneath the soil before it breaks through the surface, your spoken blessings are taking root in the unseen realm. Trust the process and continue to speak with confidence. Consistency is crucial. Speaking as if it is done is not a one-time act, it is a way of life. Make it a daily practice to declare blessings over yourself and your circumstances. Begin each day by affirming the reality you wish to create. As you go about your day, guard your words, ensuring they align with your desired outcome. And before you sleep, reaffirm your blessings, allowing your mind to rest in the certainty of their fulfillment. You may encounter resistance from others who do not understand the power of this practice. They may question your declarations or challenge your confidence. Do not be swayed by their doubts. The reality you are creating is for you, and only you need to believe in it. Speak your blessings privately, if necessary, but speak them with unwavering conviction. You will begin to see the fruits of your declarations. Opportunities will arise, relationships will improve, and circumstances will shift in your favor. These manifestations are not coincidences, they are the natural result of your alignment with the reality you have been affirming. You will come to understand that your words are not mere sounds, they are creative forces that shape the very fabric of your life. Speak as if it is done, and watch as your life transforms in ways that exceed your highest expectations. Trust in the power within you, and let your words pave the way for a reality filled with blessings, abundance, and joy. It is done. The world you experience externally is a direct reflection of the conversations you hold internally. Your inner dialogue, the continuous stream of thoughts, affirmations, and beliefs you entertain, shapes the way your reality unfolds. It is the silent architect of your life, influencing your emotions, actions, and the circumstances you encounter. To change your outer world, you must begin by transforming what you affirm within. Every thought you hold carries energy. This energy either builds or dismantles the life you desire. When you allow self-doubt, fear, and negativity to dominate your inner conversation, you unknowingly set the stage for these feelings to manifest in your external world. Conversely, when your inner dialogue is filled with positivity, faith, and empowerment, your outer world begins to align with these affirmations. The relationship is seamless, and there are no exceptions. What you dwell on internally becomes the script for your life's unfolding story. Your mind is like fertile soil, and your thoughts are seeds. Whether you plant seeds of abundance or scarcity, love or fear, success or failure, the soil does not discriminate. It nurtures whatever you sow, and in time you reap the harvest of your inner dialogue. This is why it is essential to guard your inner conversation vigilantly. The thoughts you entertain, especially those you repeat consistently, become ingrained in your subconscious mind. Once implanted, they begin to influence your actions, decisions, and perceptions, shaping the reality you encounter. Consider how often you replay thoughts of inadequacy, failure, or fear. These inner dialogues act as self-fulfilling prophecies. If you repeatedly think, "I am not good enough," you project this belief outward, affecting the way you carry yourself, the opportunities you pursue, and the relationships you form. The outer world, responding to the energy of your inner dialogue, reflects this belief back to you through experiences of rejection or limitation. The cycle then reinforces itself, creating a loop that feels inescapable but is entirely self-created. Now imagine replacing those negative thoughts with empowering ones. Instead of "I am not good enough," you affirm, "I am worthy of all the good things life has to offer." As you repeat this affirmation, your inner state begins to shift. You feel more confident, capable, and open to opportunities. Your energy changes, and so does the way people and circumstances respond to you. Your external world, mirroring your internal dialogue, starts to present you with experiences that validate your worthiness. This is not magic, it is the natural law of cause and effect. To transform your inner conversation, begin by becoming aware of it. Many people go through life unaware of the constant chatter in their minds, allowing negative and disempowering thoughts to dominate without question. Take a moment to observe your thoughts. Are they supportive, uplifting, and aligned with the life you want to create? Or are they filled with doubt, fear, and limitation? Awareness is the first step toward change. Once you are aware of your inner dialogue, you can begin to guide it consciously. When a negative thought arises, do not fight it or suppress it, as resistance only gives it more power. Instead, acknowledge it and then replace it with a positive affirmation. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I always fail," counter it with, "I am capable, and success is my natural state." Repeat this new affirmation until it feels more natural than the old thought. Over time, your subconscious mind will accept the new belief as truth. Consistency is key. The thoughts you dwell on most frequently hold the greatest power. Make it a daily practice to affirm the reality you wish to create. Speak words of love, success, health, and abundance to yourself, even if they do not yet reflect your current experience. Remember, you are not describing your reality, you are creating it. Your inner dialogue is the blueprint, and the outer world will adjust to match it. It is also important to guard your inner dialogue from external influences. The people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, and the environments you frequent all affect your thoughts. If you spend time with individuals who constantly complain or criticize, their negativity can seep into your mind, influencing your inner conversation. Be selective about what and who you allow into your mental space. Surround yourself with positivity, inspiration, and encouragement. Seek out environments that uplift and energize you. Gratitude is a powerful tool for transforming your inner dialogue. When you focus on what you are thankful for, your thoughts naturally shift toward abundance and joy. Begin each day by listing things you appreciate, and let this gratitude guide your inner conversation throughout the day. Gratitude not only changes your perspective, but also attracts more of what you are thankful for into your life. As you practice shaping your inner dialogue, you will notice profound changes in your external world. Opportunities will arise where there were none before. Relationships will improve and challenges will seem less daunting. You will begin to feel a sense of alignment, as if life itself is conspiring to support you. This is the power of a consciously guided inner conversation. Remember, your thoughts are not passive, they are active forces that shape your reality. The outer world is a mirror, reflecting back the content of your inner dialogue. By making your inner conversation a source of empowerment, you take control of the life you are creating. Speak to yourself with love, encouragement, and certainty, and watch as your world transforms to reflect the beauty of your thoughts. You are the creator of your reality, and it all begins within. Claiming divine favor is a transformative act of self-recognition and acceptance. It begins with the understanding that you are inherently deserving of every good thing life has to offer. This is not an act of arrogance or entitlement, but a realization of your worthiness as a creation of the divine. When you affirm this truth within yourself, you unlock the floodgates of abundance, love, and blessings that are waiting to flow into your life. At the core of claiming divine favor lies the principle of self-worth. How you perceive your value determines what you allow yourself to receive. If you harbor feelings of unworthiness or believe that good things are reserved for others but not for you, you create an invisible barrier that blocks the flow of blessings into your life. The universe responds to the energy of your beliefs, mirroring back to you what you hold as true. By affirming your worthiness and claiming divine favor, you shift this energy, opening yourself to receive all that is good and abundant. To claim divine favor, you must first understand that it is already yours. Favor is not something you have to earn through effort or perfection. It is a gift that exists by virtue of your being. Just as the sun shines without discrimination, so too does divine favor extend to all who are willing to embrace it. The key is to recognize and accept this truth. When you declare, "I am worthy of every good thing," you are not asking for favor to be granted, you are acknowledging its presence in your life. This affirmation requires more than mere words, it demands a shift in mindset. Many people struggle with feelings of inadequacy or guilt, believing they must achieve certain milestones or adhere to strict standards to be deserving. These limiting beliefs are rooted in past conditioning and must be released to claim the fullness of divine favor. Start by examining the stories you tell yourself about your worth. Are they uplifting and empowering, or do they reinforce a sense of lack and limitation? Replace any negative narratives with affirmations of worthiness and abundance. Self-worth is intimately tied to self-love. When you love and accept yourself as you are, you naturally align with the energy of divine favor. Self-love is not about vanity or self-indulgence, it is about honoring your unique essence and recognizing the divinity within you. Treat yourself with kindness, speak to yourself with compassion, and nurture your spirit with practices that uplift and inspire you. The more you love yourself, the more you align with the flow of favor that is your birthright. Faith is another essential component of claiming divine favor. You must trust that you are supported, guided, and cherished by forces greater than yourself. This faith allows you to release doubt and fear, replacing them with confidence and peace. When you affirm, "I am deserving of every good thing," do so with conviction, knowing that the universe is already orchestrating circumstances to bring your desires to fruition. Faith bridges the gap between your current reality and the blessings you seek, drawing them into your experience with ease. Claiming divine favor also requires gratitude. Gratitude is the language of abundance, signaling to the universe that you recognize and appreciate its gifts. When you express gratitude for what you have, you create a vibrational match for more blessings to enter your life. Begin each day by giving thanks for the favor that surrounds you, even before it manifests visibly. This practice not only elevates your energy but also reinforces your belief in your worthiness to receive. As you claim divine favor, you may encounter resistance from within or from others. The inner critic may try to convince you that you are not deserving, pointing to past mistakes or perceived shortcomings. Recognize these thoughts as remnants of old programming and choose to release them. Similarly, others may question or challenge your newfound confidence, projecting their own insecurities onto you. Stand firm in your truth, knowing that their opinions do not define your worth. Your favor is not contingent on external validation, it is an internal state of being. One of the most profound aspects of claiming divine favor is its ripple effect. When you embrace your worthiness and align with the energy of abundance, you inspire others to do the same. Your confidence and joy become a beacon, encouraging those around you to recognize their own value. In this way, claiming divine favor is not a selfish act, it is a contribution to the collective well-being. By stepping into your fullness, you give others permission to do the same. The practice of claiming divine favor is ongoing. It is not a one-time declaration but a way of life. Each day presents an opportunity to affirm your worthiness, to align with abundance, and to receive the blessings that are waiting for you. Make it a habit to speak words of favor over yourself. "I am blessed. I am loved. I am worthy of every good thing." Let these affirmations guide your thoughts, words, and actions, shaping a reality that reflects the truth of who you are. As you continue this practice, you will notice a transformation not only in your outer circumstances, but also in your inner state. Peace, joy, and confidence will become your natural disposition. Challenges will seem less daunting as you trust in the divine support that surrounds you. Opportunities will arise effortlessly, and relationships will flourish. This is the power of claiming divine favor. It changes not just your life, but the very essence of how you experience the world. You are deserving of every good thing, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. The divine favor that flows through the universe flows through you as well. Claim it boldly, live it fully, and watch as your life transforms into a reflection of the abundance and love that is your true nature. Fear is a natural emotion, but when left unchecked, it can paralyze the mind and obscure the vision of a brighter future. Fear thrives on uncertainty, feeding on the unknown and multiplying with every thought of what could go wrong. Yet there is a powerful antidote to fear: faith. When fear arises, it is not a signal to retreat or surrender, it is an invitation to strengthen your trust in the divine flow of life. To replace fear with faith, one must consciously choose to speak blessings, even in moments of doubt and uncertainty. These words of affirmation and hope have the power to shift your focus from despair to possibility, from anxiety to peace. Faith begins with a decision. It is the choice to believe in the unseen, to trust that the universe is conspiring for your good, even when circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. This trust is not blind, it is deeply rooted in the understanding that life operates in cycles and that challenges are temporary. When you feel fear creeping in, pause and acknowledge it without judgment. Recognize that fear is merely a signal, a reminder that your focus has shifted away from faith. In that moment, you have the power to pivot, to redirect your energy toward the truth of your divine support. Speaking blessings during times of fear is a powerful practice that anchors your mind and spirit in faith. Words carry creative energy, shaping your internal and external realities. When you declare blessings over your life, you are not simply uttering empty phrases, you are engaging in a sacred act of creation. Your words become a bridge between fear and faith, guiding you toward a state of certainty and trust. For example, in moments of doubt, you might say, "I am guided and protected. Everything is unfolding for my highest good." These words do not deny the presence of fear. Instead, they affirm a greater truth that transcends it. It is essential to understand that faith is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. Fear often arises when the mind fixates on what is lacking or uncertain. Faith, on the other hand, shifts the focus to abundance and possibility. By speaking blessings, you redirect your thoughts toward what is already good and what is yet to come. This shift in perspective diminishes the power of fear, allowing faith to take root and grow stronger. To replace fear with faith, you must cultivate a habit of gratitude. Gratitude is a form of faith in action. It is the recognition of blessings, both seen and unseen. When fear threatens to overwhelm you, take a moment to list the things you are grateful for. Speak them aloud, letting each word affirm the abundance in your life. Gratitude not only calms the mind, but also aligns your energy with the frequency of blessings, making it easier to trust that more good things are on their way. Another way to strengthen faith in the face of fear is to visualize the outcome you desire. Fear often paints vivid pictures of worst-case scenarios, filling the mind with images of failure, loss, or harm. Counteract this by creating a mental image of success, joy, and fulfillment. As you hold this vision, speak blessings over it. Say, "I am worthy of this outcome. It is already mine." This practice not only replaces fear with faith, but also reinforces your belief in your ability to manifest your desires. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is also crucial when battling fear. The energy of the people and environments you engage with has a profound impact on your state of mind. Seek out those who inspire faith and hope, who speak blessings over their own lives and encourage you to do the same. Avoid those who dwell in negativity, as their fear-based energy can amplify your own doubts. Instead, immerse yourself in uplifting books, affirmations, and conversations that reinforce the power of faith. In moments of deep fear, it can be helpful to remind yourself of past challenges you have overcome. Reflect on times when you faced uncertainty or adversity and emerged stronger. These memories serve as evidence of your resilience and the divine guidance that has carried you through. Speak blessings over your current situation with this confidence, saying, "Just as I have overcome before, I will overcome again. I am divinely supported." Meditation and prayer are invaluable tools for replacing fear with faith. When you feel fear taking hold, find a quiet space to center yourself. Close your eyes, take deep breaths, and affirm your trust in the divine. Speak blessings into the silence, letting your words fill the space with hope and certainty. For example, you might say, I release all fear and welcome faith. I trust that everything is working out perfectly for me. These moments of stillness allow you to connect with the divine presence within you, dissolving fear and replacing it with peace. It is important to be patient with yourself as you navigate the journey from fear to faith. Fear is a deeply ingrained response, and replacing it with faith requires consistent effort and practice. Be gentle with yourself when fear arises, and view each moment of doubt as an opportunity to deepen your trust. Over time, as you continue to speak blessings and affirm your faith, you will notice a shift in your internal landscape. Fear will lose its grip, and faith will become your default response to life's uncertainties. Replacing fear with faith is a transformative act of reclaiming your power. It is a declaration that you refuse to be controlled by doubt or negativity. By speaking blessings over your life, you align yourself with the truth of your divine support and open the door to endless possibilities. Remember, faith is not about knowing exactly how or when things will work out. It is about trusting that they will. Each word of blessing you speak is a step toward a life of peace, joy, and unwavering confidence. Blessing every aspect of your life is a transformative practice that calls forth abundance, joy, and harmony in all areas of your existence. It is an act of deliberate creation, where your words and intentions become the architects of a life filled with fulfillment and prosperity. When you affirm blessings over your health, wealth, relationships, and opportunities, you are not merely hoping for a better future, you are shaping your present reality through the power of focused thought and spoken word. Every area of your life responds to the energy you project, and by blessing each one intentionally, you create a ripple effect of positivity and growth. Start with your health, the foundation of your physical and mental well-being. Speak words of vitality and healing over your body, affirming its innate ability to rejuvenate and thrive. Say, my body is a temple of strength and health. Every cell vibrates with energy and wellness. Such affirmations are not just comforting, they influence your subconscious mind to align with the vision of a healthy self. The mind-body connection is powerful, and by consistently blessing your health, you cultivate habits and choices that support your well-being. Next, turn your attention to wealth and financial abundance. Many people carry limiting beliefs about money, seeing it as scarce or elusive. These beliefs create energetic blocks that prevent prosperity from flowing freely. To shift this dynamic, speak blessings over your finances, declaring abundance as your natural state. Say, I am a magnet for wealth. Money flows to me effortlessly and in great abundance. These words dissolve scarcity thinking and open you to opportunities for growth and financial success. By blessing your wealth, you invite stability, freedom, and the means to support your dreams. Relationships are another cornerstone of a fulfilling life. They are the mirrors through which you experience love, connection, and understanding. To bless your relationships, affirm harmony, respect, and unconditional love. Whether it is a romantic partnership, family bond, or friendship, your words can nurture these connections and strengthen the ties that bind. Say, I am surrounded by loving and supportive people. My relationships are filled with joy, trust, and mutual respect. These affirmations not only improve existing bonds, but also attract new relationships that align with your highest good. Opportunities are the gateways to growth and achievement, yet they often go unnoticed when we are not in a state of receptivity. By blessing your opportunities, you become attuned to the doors that are opening for you, no matter how small they may seem. Say, opportunities come to me from all directions. I am ready and equipped to seize them with confidence. This practice shifts your mindset from one of lack to one of readiness, allowing you to recognize and act on the possibilities that align with your aspirations. As you bless each aspect of your life, remember to extend this practice to areas that may currently seem challenging or stagnant. Bless your struggles as opportunities for growth and learning, affirming that they are stepping stones to greater strength and wisdom. For instance, if you are facing difficulties in your career, say, "This challenge is shaping me for something greater. I am capable and resilient, and success is on its way." These words not only shift your perspective, but also empower you to navigate obstacles with grace and determination. Blessing every aspect of your life requires consistency and mindfulness. It is not a one-time act, but a daily practice that becomes a way of being. Begin each morning by setting an intention to bless your day and everything it holds. Take a moment to visualize the various aspects of your life: your health, your work, your loved ones, and your goals. Speak affirmations over each one, letting your words flow with conviction and joy. This practice sets a positive tone for the day and aligns your energy with the outcomes you desire. In addition to speaking blessings, write them down. Create a list of affirmations for each area of your life and revisit them regularly. Writing crystallizes your intentions and gives them tangible form, making them even more powerful. For example, under health, you might write, "I am grateful for my vibrant energy and strong body." Under wealth, you could affirm, "My income is constantly increasing, and I am financially secure." This written practice not only reinforces your blessings, but also serves as a reminder of your ability to create your reality. Gratitude plays a vital role in blessing every aspect of your life. When you bless something, you are expressing gratitude for it, whether it is already present or still on its way. Gratitude amplifies the energy of your blessings, turning them into magnets for more of what you appreciate. For instance, when affirming blessings over your relationships, take a moment to feel gratitude for the love and connection you already experience. This emotional resonance strengthens your affirmations and deepens your sense of fulfillment. Remember that blessing every aspect of your life is not about denying challenges or difficulties. It is about acknowledging them while choosing to focus on solutions, growth, and the potential for positive change. Blessing your life is an act of faith in the unseen, a declaration that you trust in the unfolding of your highest good. Even in moments of uncertainty, your words have the power to anchor you in hope and possibility. By blessing your health, wealth, relationships, and opportunities, you create a life that reflects the abundance and joy you desire. Your words become seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe, destined to grow into a harvest of fulfillment and prosperity. Speak blessings over your life with unwavering confidence, knowing that every word carries the creative power to change your reality. In doing so, you step into your role as the deliberate creator of your destiny, crafting a life that is rich in love, success, and boundless joy. In conclusion, the words you speak have the power to shape your reality. By blessing every aspect of your life, your health, wealth, relationships, and opportunities, you align yourself with abundance, joy, and growth. This practice is a daily affirmation of your worthiness and your ability to create a life filled with fulfillment and prosperity. Your words are seeds that, when planted with faith and gratitude, bear fruit in every area of your life. Remember, the act of blessing is not just a declaration of what you desire, it is an acknowledgement of the divine power within you to manifest it. Speak blessings with unwavering confidence, guard your inner dialogue, and choose words that reflect the reality you wish to experience. In doing so, you step into the role of deliberate creator, embracing a life of harmony, abundance, and joy. Thank you for taking this journey of transformation through the power of the spoken word. May your affirmations uplift you, guide you, and bring forth every blessing you deserve.